This is lesson number 1 of Your First Info Product, a training course designed to teach you step by step how to launch and sell your very first info product online. So, why info products and why should you be pursuing this as a business model? The first one is these products are easy to create. They are simple to create and a lot easier than you can imagine to put together, as we will reveal to you in this course. The second main thing about info products is that there's an extremely low overhead, meaning this is the type of business you can get started for very low investment. All you need is a domain name and web hosting, and you can actually start selling your information products. The creation of the products is actually free unless you choose to outsource it, because it just takes your time and your energy and your knowledge. There are absolutely no inventory headaches because info products are digital products. So you can sell unlimited copies of them, never have to worry about having to reorder inventory, never have to worry about profit margins, never have to worry about suppliers. The great thing is that there is no headaches involved. You can sell your products on autopilot 24/7. As we've all seen on those digital product sales pages, they say even if it's 3 a.m., you can still download the product. And that's so true about info products. They give you that ability. They can generate passive income for you, as they can be automated. You can set them up on autopilot so that you constantly have affiliates and people driving you traffic. You can also set them up because you're going to have an email list of new buyers, so you can actually email those people on autopilot. So the passive income potential is enormous. Info products are also a massive credibility builder for you. They establish your brand, they establish you as an authority. And so if you are somebody in any topic in life, so any market, let's say you're a life coach and you create an info product about how to improve themselves, then you instantly become the expert in people's eyes as they go through it. It's similar to having a book. So you can actually leverage an info product into more credibility and more sales for your personal business. Info products is an easy way for a solopreneur to work for themselves. That means an entrepreneurship that's working by themselves. You do not need a team of people in order to launch and sell info products, especially as you follow this system. The best part is that you can literally run this business anywhere there is an internet connection, and that's what's so important about info products. So, what types of info products are there out there? First one is ebooks. Ebooks, we've all seen them. Those are PDF files, generally between 25, maybe 75 pages worth of content. They provide really informative details on a topic. Some of the best selling products on the leading digital product platforms are strictly ebooks. Video courses like what you're watching right now, that's a very good example of a high quality info product. So video courses are courses created by videos. You can use PowerPoint. You can actually film somebody teaching a class. You can film somebody demonstrating like yoga or exercises. Those types of things are what video courses would be. Audio courses. Some of you might be listening to the audio version of this training, and that is an example of an audio course. So you can actually create products that aren't videos, that are not ebooks, but it's you talking about your topic for 1, 2, maybe 3 hours. You just create a list of bullet points that you want to cover, and you start speaking and going to town. Interviews is another tremendous style of info product. So that's where you go out there and you find experts in your niche market, in your field, and you interview them. The best part about an interview style product is that you can go into any niche market online. That means the life coaching space, the health space, the whatever it is, the movie making space, and you can just find experts in that niche, and you can go out there and create products. So if you know nothing about a topic, like let's pretend it's baseball, for example, you know nothing about baseball as far as how to teach it, but you enjoy baseball, you can go out, start making phone calls to experts within the baseball niche, and next thing you know, you have an info product. So that's the great thing. Let's say you love your animals. You can go out and find pet experts, you can find dog training experts, people that know how to handle cats. You can go out and interview those people. So look up on Amazon people that have written books on certain topics. Next thing you know, you can be picking up the phone and you've got an interview style product. You can do live online training. So you can actually hold a live webinar and you can actually record that, and that becomes your info products. That's another great way to make info products. Now, some of the leading platforms online, I'm just going to reveal a couple to you here. But the first one that we're covering is Clickbank. Clickbank is the global retailer in internet in internet marketing and digital products. They have 200 million customers worldwide. They are a massive massive internet retailer. Clickbank, what's most amazing about them is that they've been in business for 17 years. They've never missed a payment to their vendors, and they have a tremendous marketplace. So once you get into Clickbank's marketplace, you can have affiliates sending you traffic on autopilot, and they have created so many six-figure, seven-figure business owners from their platform. It's a truly powerful platform that you need to check out. Jvzoo is another up and coming platform that's been around for several years now. They are very well established in the market. They're actually growing and making changes and expanding into so many different niche markets. And Jvzoo is a great marketplace, especially for those of you that use PayPal and for those affiliates that love instant commissions. You need to check out Jvzoo. They got a tremendous track record for selling info products. Those are the two platforms we're going to focus on for creating and selling digital products, Clickbank and Jvzoo. Now here's step by step the process that I go through to create and sell info products, and there's 15 steps revealed here, and so I'm going to go over each one of these steps for you so you can follow along and understand what steps you should be doing next. The first step is to determine your target audience. That is step number one and very important. So what is your ideal customer for your product? And we're going to talk about that on one of the next video lessons. And so if you understand what your ideal customer is for your product, it's going to help you as you create that product. It's going to help you as you market that product. So for example, if you have a product teaching parents how to keep their children safe on the internet so that they don't get caught up with a predator or something like that, they don't get into a bad situation because the internet can be dangerous. I need to think to myself, what is my ideal customer for that? Well, that is parents, and specifically parents of teenagers. So that would be the market that I would pursue, is parents of teenagers. So those would be parents, maybe in their mid to upper 30s on up to mid 50s, in that range. And so those would be kind of the target demographic I'm going for. Creating your product outline, and this is where we're going to show you step by step. I'm going to go over in detail my product creation outline system. And these outlines, what's so fantastic about these info product outlines is this is the framework, this is the beginning stage of your info product. And you can create your outlines for your OTO products as well once you get this. And we'll talk about your OTO or your one-time offer in just a moment. You want to determine your upsell offer for your sales funnel. That's actually also known as your OTO or one-time offer. So OTO, upsell, one-time offer, same thing. But you must have a sales funnel when you launch. Again, it's not essential, but it is vital to your long-term success because I've doubled, tripled, quadrupled my revenues over the years when I include a sales funnel. So make sure you have an upsell of some sort that complements what they just purchased from you. And so as you're doing your outline, you could outline both products. In video lesson number 4, step number 4, we actually go over in detail how to create your info product. So that is step number 4, how to create your info product. We'll discuss several different ways to record your video, write your ebook, record your audios, and give you some great tips for doing those methods. Step number 5 is to determine your bonuses. Determine your bonuses. You can use PLR or review your content assets that you have on your hard drive. Maybe it's content that you've created like articles and those types of material that could be converted. Maybe it's interviews you've done that you could include with your product. But come up with good bonuses. Bonuses can actually drive your sales. They can actually help you with your upsells. And we'll talk about that in detail as we go along. Write your sales copy or sales video script. In step number 6, we go over step by step how to start writing your sales copy, how to write effective messages that sell, and then how to convert that into a sales video. And you also, in this step, will write your sales copy for your one-time offer and your additional upsells if you go that direction. Step number 7, we're going to go over how to use some simple online tools to create really cool looking product graphics so that you can be a top selling machine and you don't even have to worry about outsourcing if you do not want to. We do reveal a great place to outsource your graphics, but if you don't want to even pay for any outsourcing costs, there's some really cool free online tools that you can leverage and some paid tools to make amazing graphics. And so we'll talk about using Fiverr, Canva, Placeit.net, and Pixel Studio FX. Step number 8, this is where you're going to upload the product files to Amazon. So those could be the images you made, your info product, the sales page as well once you're at that point. But once you know how to upload your files to Amazon S3 or to your own server, you are now in business. And so that would be like your PDFs, your MP4, your MP3, your product. That's where you're going to learn to upload those. Creating your download page, that is covered in detail in step number 9. You will learn how to step by step set up a download page. We show you a screenshot of a download page there. And also we'll go over how to include relevant offers on your download page to maximize your revenue. Step number 10, you're going to create your download pages for your upsell offers. So that's a really important step, and you can actually just repeat the step from number 9 there to do that and also learn how to monetize them. Step number 11 is actually creating a JV page. So your JV page is extremely vital to your success online because that's how you're going to recruit affiliates and sell them on the possibility of promoting your product. Sell your affiliates on why they need to promote your course so you can continue selling on and on your info product over and over again. Step number 12, you will learn how to move the front end sales copy that you created in the previous lesson, in one of the previous lessons. You'll learn how to take that sales copy, move it to optimized press, lead pages, ClickFunnels, how to move it to an HTML website builder called Composer. So you'll learn how to convert your sales copy and move it into a page builder. And then we're going to do the same thing in step number 13, but for your upsells as well. So you're going to learn how to use those, what page builders to use. I'll talk about the pros and cons of each. And then later on, we actually have a technical training that you will be able to follow through and go through these steps. Set up your product in Clickbank, Jvzoo, or your own shopping cart with PayPal. So this is one of the next steps to get your product ready for launch is to set up, once your sales pages are uploaded and ready to go, once your info product and download page is created, once your bonuses are on your page, once everything is done, we can now set up the product in Clickbank and Jvzoo, and we can start to recruit affiliates, which we'll cover in step number 15, and that is how you recruit affiliates. We'll talk about building relationships and post your JV page online so you can immediately start recruiting affiliates for your info product and start getting traffic. And at this point, your first info product is going to be live. So it's really going to be a lot of fun as we go through these lessons. Welcome back. This is lesson number 2 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about the important topic of finding your target audience. We are going to help you identify your ideal customer for your info product, and it's very important that this is the first step in the process because it's going to help you create a better product. Your info product will be better because of it. It's going to help you better serve your audience, and so it's really important for your marketing of the product. It's really important for the creation of the product that you know who you are creating it for, that you know specifically who's going to be the buyer of your product. It will also increase your conversions when you're selling the product, which means you can sell a lot more when you do your sales copy. Also, it will help you better connect with your market, which is essential for your long-term success. As people go through your program, if you're targeting the right people, the results that they get is also going to be dramatically increased. So you need to ask yourself first, where does your market hang out? Are they going to be in online forums? What forums are those? Or if you are going after people in the internet marketing crowd, of course you would go after the Warrior Forum. If you happen to be going after people in the bodybuilding space, think of those forums like bodybuilding.com. Where are those places that they are hanging out? The weight loss forums, totally different. Parenting forums, a lot of parenting magazines have forums, and the online forums. So think about where your customers, where they are hanging out. Believe it or not, online forums are still very relevant and very new, and a lot of people still use them. Another up and coming tool that people are using is Facebook groups and Facebook pages. And as you know that your audience is liking these pages, they're participating in these groups, and so you need to go to where your audience is hanging out and identify what questions do they have. If you're going in the forums or the Facebook groups and you see questions that keep coming up repeatedly, then you know what kind of topics your audience is really looking for assistance on. And so it's going to help you better identify who your target customer is. Facebook is really good because you can do some simple browsing in groups and identify people based on, the gender of the people in the group, maybe their age by looking at the pictures, and just get like a sample size of looking maybe 100, 200 people, really identify who your market is, why they're on that page, what they're doing there as well. Look at the popular YouTube channels and see what kind of material they are covering. Every niche market, whether it's parenting, whether it's the sports niche market, whether it's dog training, pet training, the internet marketing niche market, whatever market you are targeting, there's a popular YouTube channel out there that you can identify, and you can see what kind of material they're covering, what makes them popular, why would people want to hang out there. Once you identify that, it's going to help you create a better product. Think also of stores do they shop at? Do they shop at, the younger stores because they're a younger audience you're trying to reach? What stores are they shopping at? Are they shopping at like Tuesday morning because it's in the adults? Those types of topics are going to help you better identify what kinds of things they are doing, who your target market is. Also, looking at what books do they read? What books are they reading? So if you're going after people in the self-help space, you're going to look at people that are reading Robert Kiyosaki, maybe Tim Ferriss, maybe Tony Robbins. Those types of people are going to be the ones you're going to pursue. What TV shows do they watch? What kind of business related shows? If you start to think about that, then let's say you're watching TV and it's a particular show, like it's a sports TV show, and you can start to identify what commercials keep coming up. Once you see those commercials come up, you're going to see that they're targeting a very specific demographic. If you're watching the reality shows related to pets on the Animal Channel, you're going to notice a different type of advertisement that's going to show up there. Maybe you're watching conservative news TV, and you can actually watch the kind of commercials that show up there. A lot of them might be more business related, business oriented. Think of the celebrities they follow. You can kind of identify, who your target market, what their interests are. Really important is to look at the magazines they read, because it's in these magazines you can identify hot button points. You can actually research past covers from these magazines. So if you're in the fitness space, you can find, like women's health, and you could go into Google and do a search for women's health magazine covers and find the last 10 magazine covers related to, women's health, and actually see what main points they were highlighting in that particular issue of the magazine. So there's just so many possibilities here that you can do. Understanding your market, again, it's knowing exactly your exact target market, and you cannot successfully market and grow your business if you don't understand who your ideal customer is. If you don't know exactly who you're talking to, how can you expect to reach them? And so that's why this is lesson number 1. It's really important. It's going to help you as you decide what traffic source you're going to use, how it's going to help you get better conversions on your sales page. And so to do this, we create what's called a customer avatar. So the customer avatar, and I'm going to take you through some of those lessons here of what a customer avatar is. And in a nutshell, the customer avatar is the ideal customer you're going for. Now, a lot of these questions are pretty elaborate, but the point of this little lesson here is to help you start to get your mind working, so you really start to target and hone in and have a picture in your mind of who you're trying to reach with your info product, so then you can better sell to them on your sales page. So your customer avatar, you want to think about their demographics. Think about, different things about them, and we'll talk about those in just a moment. Remember, you're creating the customer that you want to do business with the most, because if you're reaching the people you want to do business with the most, your business is going to be better because of it. You're going to be happier as well. Think of how old is your ideal customer. So for example, if I'm in the parenting niche market and I have a product that teaches teenagers how to be safe on the internet, right? There's a lot of, things that are scary for teenagers on Facebook and social media accounts. So if I have a product that's targeting teenagers and teaching them how to be safe in a crazy world now, then my ideal customer is parents that are old enough to have teenage kids. I'm not going to necessarily reach out to parents in their mid 20s because they aren't going to generally have teenage kids. But I'm going to reach for those parents that maybe are in their mid to upper 30s, all the way up to maybe mid 50s, and those are going to be, my ideal customer is going to be in that range. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea there. And again, it's not saying that you need to identify and say, okay, all my customers are going to be 45 years old. That's absolutely not what I'm saying here. What I'm getting at is you need to identify a range. So as you're writing your product, as you're creating your video courses, as you're writing your sales copy, you have a picture of who that customer is that's reading it, your ideal customer, and that's going to help you reach the broad range of your customers. Are they generally male or female that's going to, be purchasing this? Are they generally a married couple? Like again, for the example of the keeping kids safe market online for teenagers, generally I'm going to be reaching the female market. They tend to be researching that. They're generally going to be upper 30s up to 40s, so probably about 45, let's say. What is their marital status? Most likely they are married, and so that's going to give you an idea. And for this example, we're going to keep saying he because that's just what we're pretending. We're using the male audience. Does he have children? In this case, of course, because it's the parenting market. How does he describe himself? So you can think of, how would this person describe themselves and think of themselves? Where does he live? Does he own or rent a house? Knowing these things is important because if you're identifying your market, it's going to help you with your price point as well. And again, some of these questions, just to point out, just so you understand, some of these questions are pretty in depth. And so if this doesn't apply to your market, you can just skip it. This lesson is not intended to hold you up. What it's intended to do is get you really thinking outside of the box more than you've probably ever thought about your target market because it's so vital to your success. If you know who you're trying to reach, you're going to sell better, like we just talked about. What kind of occupation do they have? How long have they been with their current company? How much money do they earn a year? That's a really important point to know because then that's going to dictate what kind of coaching programs you offer them as upsells, what kind of offers you package together. Think of things like what's their annual income, what's their highest level of education. Generally, the parenting market of people that are going to, be reaching the audience I want, they're going to have some college under their belt. They're generally, going through, maybe a business or some sort of school degree. They've got some success there. We can go. Consider more personal details to really help you get a better understanding. And think of these questions, these next questions, which are going to help you engage with your customers better. And it's going to be extremely useful when planning your marketing strategies and creating that content. So imagine what a typical day in their life is like, because once you imagine their typical day, it's going to help you better write your sales message. And we'll talk about writing your sales message later in these video lessons. So, how would they spend their free time? What are their hobbies and interests? Once you identify that, it's going to help you actually understand what group on Facebook to target potentially with ads, what group to target, what kind of magazines to target with your ads as well. What are their likes and dislikes? What books and magazines do they read? So being in the parenting market, it as that, is the example niche we're using. What books would he or she read, the mom or dad read of those kids? And then how can we identify, by looking at those magazines and seeing what kind of advertisements are running? What kind of music does he listen to? That's really important for you to figure out. What is he watching on TV? Is another thing to identify. So these are just some additional questions you can use to decide your target market. Are they active on social media? Which social media networks are they using? Are they using Snapchat? Are they using Facebook? Generally for the parents niche market, they're not going to be hanging out on Snapchat, but they might be hanging out on LinkedIn. They're most likely going to be using Facebook because that's kind of their market. Some might be using Twitter. So it's important to know because you can identify what traffic source you want to go after. How are they getting their news? What news stations do they watch on TV? What news websites do they frequent? What blogs are they reading? This is really important for identifying because if you're in like the parenting niche, there's certain blogs that a parent's going to be reading, going to be following. And again, once you identify these blogs, those might become potential affiliates for you. Those might be potential opportunities for you to actually create and publish content for those blogs as a guest writer, or for you to get an idea of what kind of topics they are getting from this blog source that makes them so important to them. Where do they go for their information? Keep that in mind. Think of what search terms they would be using. So that's where you can start to use the Google Keyword Planner. You can start to use, Google tools as well to identify keywords they're going for. And then think of, just these additional points here. Like if I'm going after parents, what are their biggest fears? And you can identify those fears because that's going to help you sell that product. And as mean as this may sound, one of the best ways to sell to people is to get them to be afraid and to help them realize that there is a fear going on. So as a parent, they're very afraid in this online world, for example, that their kids are not safe online. And so you want to really play into that fear and that reality of saying, hey, if you do not go through this training, this can happen to you or your kids. And so this is to help safeguard them and prevent them. And so if you don't want this to happen in your life, or you want to increase the chances that it does not happen, then this is the perfect product to help you do just that. So you can really help identify those fears. It's really important. Think of other topics like, are they health conscious? Do they spend more time at home or work? Uh, Tech savvy, what kind of sports do they like? That's going to apply for certain markets. Again, some of these questions may not apply to your market, but hopefully it gives you some ideas to think about. And just really be open about digging deeper to define your ideal customer's hopes and dreams. What makes them tick? What makes them get up in the morning? What makes them excited? And if you know those things, then you can target them better in your sales copy. It's going to enhance your customer profile, allow you to connect with them, most importantly on an emotional level. As soon as you start to connect with your audience on an emotional level, your sales copy is going to be increased. Your info products are going to have better impact on them. It's going to help them a lot better. So those are two very important reasons you need to do this. So the more details you can add into your research and identifying who they are, the better you're going to be. And think of those goals like, what are their business goals if you're going after them for business? What are their personal beliefs? Faith, what's their faith background? That's really vital as well in understanding, because there's certain ways you can create your sales copy depending on the faith that they subscribe to. What do they want to do more than anything? What are their biggest obstacles and challenges? Think of, we talked about the fears. What do they worry about? What keeps them up at night? Just like with the fears. If you really connect on that emotional level, again, you're going to help increase your conversions and your whole things. What are the three biggest problems in their life? How is his daily life affected by his problems? What would be the perfect solution to these problems? And just think of things like, how can your product or service help solve these problems? If you identify those big problems that they have, then you can easily present to them the perfect solution. It's going to help you in the next lesson, which is about outlining your info product. Because if you know the three biggest problems they're facing, you're going to have an effective product outline, which means you're going to start creating a very effective product. Then when it comes time to the sales copy, your product's going to already solve the three biggest problems that they have. What would be, those other scenarios to think about is, what is the greatest hesitation from them buying your product, and how is it going to make their life better? So once you identify who your ideal customer is, think through this topic: is how can my training make their life better? How can I make them a better person and a happier customer because of this? And use it to connect with your audience. Put yourself in their shoes every time you create content, your copy, or marketing material. It's going to help you move forward. That's why this is the first lesson, because if we can identify your market, we start to identify where they're hanging out, what websites they're using, and we can better understand what makes them tick. Use the language in their words, natural, be authentic. How do they speak? How do they interact with people? And that can dramatically help you as well. If you can master the art of feeling and thinking exactly how your customer does, you're going to be able to create marketing campaigns that resonate with him or her and make you a better marketer and a better selling. So the plan of action here is, let's start identifying your target audience for your info product, because in the next lesson, we're going to start to create our product outline. And it's going to be a lot easier to create that outline once you've gone through this exercise of understanding who your ideal customer is, really thinking of that, thinking about where they're hanging out online, because it's going to make you a better marketer and a better seller. And most importantly, you're going to create a better product that serves your audience better. This is lesson number 3 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we are now going to go over how to create your product outline. And I like to call this the winning product outline formula, because I have used this exact strategy to create my product outlines. Now, this is the beginning point for every single one of my info products. I always start with a product outline. This is the easiest way to start creating your info product. What I love about this is it actually eliminates the roadblock. It eliminates the blank screen mentality. It eliminates the, staring at a blank PowerPoint presentation. It really, what it does is get you moving towards creating your first product. It gives you that starting point that oftentimes holds you up, helps you get unstuck and actually creating your info product. So it's really important that you start here. And the most important reason is that this is the second lesson. And there's a reason I made it the second lesson, because the first lesson was about targeting the perfect market, finding your target audience. Because now that you know your target market, this product outline is going to go together a lot smoother for you. Use it to guide you to your completed info product. It also allows you to easily know what you're going to cover next as you move forward with creating your info product. Because as you create it, it's going to take, maybe it's several modules, several videos, and maybe it's several chapters of your book, but you know exactly what you're doing each step of the way as you make your product. It helps you write killer sales copy for your info products. You can also be a better marketer as well. Create your outline for research. So you're going to look at four main subject points that you can hit on for your market. That's what I start with all the time. So those main subject points. So for example, if we are in the fitness space and we are going over how to lose weight by exercising in your home office, the four main subject points might be body weight exercises, it might be diet, it might be mindset, and it might be energy levels or additional tips and strategies for you to do. So those types of things would become your four main points. And each of those points would become like your chapter. They would become a video module. Just like this course is 15 modules, you can see here that I've actually got 15 video lessons in this particular training. And so for my outline, it actually has 15 main subject points that I'm hitting on. So yours might be a lot smaller. Actually, some might be larger. I have a product where I use this same method and I expanded it all the way to 86 lessons as well. Below each subject point, you can include 4 to 5 additional points that you can hit on. And here's a great example of how this works for a self-improvement product that you can actually implement. So the first part is module number 1. This is where I went over, what is self-improvement. So I always start with kind of an introduction, as you guys saw actually with my product. So module number 1 or chapter 1 or video number 1, we would cover the topic of what is self-improvement. And it's in this section that I would define, what self-improvement is, and then I'm going to identify the 4 to 5 main subject points that I'm going to hit on. These subject points are going to eventually become our chapters or our video lessons that you see here. So chapter number 1 is financial health, and you'll recall from this session, if you want to kind of see how this worked together, session number 1 that you guys went through was the introduction, right? Each one of the bullet points that I made, the lessons, has become the main subject point of the remaining videos that you're now watching. So you can see how I did that with that as well. So I always start with that introduction because it really lays it out for me, gives me that foundation. And I write out my outlines like this. You can write it in a notepad. You can actually use notepad software itself. You can use Word document. You could use mind mapping tools, whatever works for you. I actually create some of my sales funnels or my best product funnels, my best info products as well, and best product outlines. I create those in a regular notepad where I'm writing them down. So you don't always have to be using the computer if you do not want. This is lesson number 4 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about your OTO or one-time offer and your sales funnel. OTO stands for one-time offer. That is a special offer that your customers see after they purchase your front-end product. Now, we're not getting ahead of ourselves here by talking about this because this is in this order for a particular reason, because I want you to start thinking about what you're going to include with your products. We already did your product outline for your main product, but we need to outline what your upsell product is going to be, or we need to determine what kind of material do you have on your hard drive already of products that you've already created or content you already have, or maybe private label rights content that you can find, or coaching services you can offer for your upsell or one-time offer. Because if you do not do an upsell, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. In fact, you can double or triple your revenue numbers and make your affiliates extremely happy if you have a good funnel in place. This is also known again as the upsell, and it's a complimentary offer that your customers see after purchasing your product. And again, it's not required of them to buy that product for the front end to work, but it should complement what they just got. So maybe it's a special training course on how to train your dog, and then maybe the complimentary offer for them is 10 additional tips to have a puppy free home, and maybe that's the upsell. The OTO, it's a key component of a good sales funnel, and you must have this in place or you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. Like I said earlier, it can double or triple your revenues. Never launch an offer without an upsell. You're going to be leaving money on the table, so that's why I want to get it in your head right now that upsells are vital to your success, because the number one key to my success in selling 7 figures online has been because I have good funnels in place. Your upsell or one-time offer should complement the offer people purchased on the front end. It should never be required to get the upsell for the front end offer to work. This is a bad customer service practice, and it's something that you should not engage in. You should make sure that they are getting the best value for their money. Most of your money is typically made from the upsell, so really make sure that you are including that in your business. And here's some ideas for a good quality upsell. Templates, they work extremely well. So those could be templates that go along with the offer you have. Those could be templates, cheat sheets, resources. So let's say you're doing, diet tips and strategies. If you're doing a diet product, a great template or a cheat sheet might be a shopping list, right? A ready to go shopping list, so people get into the grocery store, they know exactly what kind of products they should be buying at the grocery store so they can better achieve the goals. If you are teaching people how to write sales copy, you could include some sales copy templates that they could swipe and use. So there's several different ideas there, but templates do very well. More advanced training that kind of takes them a level up from what you just covered on the front end. You can offer them advanced training at a discount, so once they go through the front end training, they have an advanced level that they can go to. Coaching does extremely well here. So this is where you can offer your coaching, your services, your additional ideas. It works extremely well here. Coaching does great because the coaching upsell is vital, because a lot of people need a coach. They want to get coached, and you can make a lot of revenue on that. Webinar training, you can offer a live webinar training. You could offer a live webinar Q&A session. So you can offer those things to your customers in the upsell. And you could also do a complimentary training that kind of enhances what they're just learning. So for example, a complimentary training might be if you are in the baseball niche, and let's say you're teaching people how to hit a baseball and you're not sure about what upsell to use, but you know that for baseball, for people to be effective at baseball, just like they need to be effective at losing weight as well, it's all about their mindset. Just like for business owners too, you should have the right mindset in place so you can achieve success. So why not offer a mindset training as the upsell? So that's an example of a complimentary training. So you could offer self-help, personal development, mindset training to a lot of different products out there, whether it's a parenting product, a sports related product. There's a lot of upsell opportunities there. You could offer a private Facebook group as well for your customers. So if they take action now on the upsell, you're going to give them access to an ongoing community of people where they bounce ideas off of each other. Here's the next key component of your info product funnel. You have your front end offer, and generally for my launches that have produced 6 figures plus in sales, we have we kind of use this same formula for these launches. And so I just want to give you an example of what a good info product funnel will look like. Some of you might just have the one upsell, some of you might have 4 upsells, some of you might only have 2 upsells, and that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to kind of, help you visualize what a product funnel looks like so you can be integrating this in your business, and you can include all the things we just talked about here on ideas for your upsell. So your front end offer, again, mine generally range from 27 to 37. Depending on your niche, your front end product might be 197. It's going to depend on your market. So please do not think you need to stick to my prices. This just gives you kind of an idea of what we're going for. So I have a good front end offer. Then the first upsell, I pile in the value. So that might be they get 2 for 1 on the trainings. They get additional bonuses. They might get access to additional exclusive interviews. They might get some live Q&A sessions or live webinar. They might get access to a private customer only VIP upgrade Facebook group. So that might be a great example there. If they say no to the first upsell, I always like to offer a downsell on that first upsell. I don't downsell everything else because of the fact that it can get monotonous for the people going through your product and get very difficult for them. So I always have a downsell on the first upsell because it kind of sets the tone and gets people in that buying rhythm in your funnel. But it's so important because you're adding additional value here. So my upsells never are required to purchase to make the front end work. They always complement, and that's really key for you. So whether they take the upsell 1 or downsell 1, you can always send them through a no thank you link where they say no thanks, I don't want this offer, to the next upsell that you have. And maybe that next upsell might be coaching, right? It might be coaching, or it might be that third upsell in the 497 range that, hey, I will give you 5 coaching sessions at a discounted rate for only $297 if you take action right now. That might be the end of your funnel. So your front end product might be a training on, puppy training, right? Your next upsell might be some, 10 tips on how to puppy proof your house. Then your next upsell might be a special series of webinars where you're going to help guide them through, and maybe access to the Facebook group. That might be the second upsell. The third upsell could be private coaching and mentoring as they go through puppy training, as they go through their relationships, they go through their breakup. So you can get the idea of your info product funnel right here. So that's what it would look like. So deeper funnels increase your profits massively. That's why I really wanted to make sure I told you about that. Provide related offers throughout the funnel. That's super important. The upsells should always complement what they purchased. Provide insane value on that first OTO to really maximize those conversions. And your affiliates are going to be happy if you have a good converting sales funnel and good upsells, because instead of them making sales on one product, they're going to make sales on 3 or 4 products. So it's really key for them. Use private label rights on your hard drive. Offer bonus live training sessions, include those templates. And again, private label rights material that's sitting on your hard drive, I cannot underestimate the importance of that enough. Really important. And just do not be afraid to sell. The key to being successful product launches is to not be afraid to sell. And here's another great example of how a sales funnel looks like and how it's kind of put together. So I've got a product here that I launched on the front end. I've got a training teaching people about how to set up their first sales funnel. And then I lead people on the next slides into a complementary training product that I've decided to add in here to the funnel. So how they can quickly and easily add an additional, revenue or get additional training. And so you can see it kind of just pieces them through. And the final piece of my funnel in this particular example, it's a monthly newsletter that I charge $17 a month for. So I don't have that high ticket price, but I have a monthly newsletter, and quite a few people took us up on that. So we have a nice base of subscribers paying $17 a month. So you can add in monthly components to your funnel as well. But I wanted to show you how this works. At the bottom of the page, we all see those no thank you links. So the no thank you, I'm not interested. Those are the links where you click on those, and it's going to take people to the next part of your funnel. So it's really vital that you understand that. So when they click no thanks, it's going to take them, if they were to go through and buy my front end product and come to this page, there's going to be a no thank you link on this page. When they click that no thanks link instead of the buy button, they're going to be taken to the next upsell. If they click that no thanks, they'll be taken to the third upsell. So hopefully you can see how that works. And one of those tips that I want to share with you that I use is I try to make my no thanks link stand out. I like to make it jump out at people so that they actually end up seeing my entire sales funnel. So this is a great example of a good sales funnel. Let's start mapping out that funnel, understanding what upsells you're going to use, because upsells are vital to your success online with info products. We're back here with lesson number 5 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to actually go through the steps of creating your info product. So this is where the rubber meets the road, where we start the process of creating our info product. We've laid the foundation by mapping it out. We've laid the foundation by understanding what our funnel is going to be. We also, most importantly, identified our target market at this point. Now it's time to create your info product. And there's several types of info products, and we'll go over each one of these in more detail in this lesson. Ebooks is the first one. We've all seen those. Those are PDF material, PDF guides people download and take through and go through the content. Video courses, those could be a variety of types of video courses. We'll talk about the different kinds. Video demonstrations are really important, so you could be demonstrating yoga poses, dieting. You could actually be just talking in front of a whiteboard and mapping out business strategies. So those are all methods you can use. Audios is another great product creation idea. Interview products do really well where you find experts in your niche and interview them. Live trainings, so those would be, live trainings. You actually sell them and they actually join your training live, where you actually create your info product live in front of them. You could also do weekly or daily lessons. So that means every single day or every single week on Monday or Tuesday, they get a new lesson in their inbox. That's another great type of info product to make. So ebooks, they're generally going to be between 25 to 100 pages of content, and make sure that you're looking at using images to spice it up. You can look for royalty-free images to kind of integrate, kind of offset some of the material in your ebook. But the ebooks are generally between 25 to 100 pages of content. Now this should be no problem at all, because if you followed the product outline lesson where we went over how to outline your product, you're going to know exactly how many chapters you're going to have. You're going to know exactly how many sub points and sub niche topics you want to cover within your ebook. So it should be very easy for you to basically just go through your outline and identify, okay, in chapter 1, we're talking about how to improve yourself via health. So in this, we're going to talk about diet. So then you focus on 2 or 3 pages on diet. Then you go on to the importance of exercise and 2 or 3 pages on exercise. So that should give you a really good idea there. When you're doing an ebook, less is sometimes more. You don't need to be very verbose and have a lot of different words of content in there. Sometimes if you limit the fluff and get straight to the point, your customers are going to be much, much happier as you do that. Some tools you can use, obviously Microsoft Word, OpenOffice Writer. There's also a service online called iWriter.com, and you can actually outsource, just by sending them kind of your product outline, a complete, ready to go ebook so that they could just write your ebook for you. The next thing we have on ways to get the best ebook, obviously make sure that you're researching your topic effectively, and that goes right in line with what we talked about at the beginning, where we went over what kind of topics you are going to be covering, who your target market is, and you can use the internet, understand where your market's hanging out, understand what they need, what kind of relevant websites, the forums, watching videos, taking notes, and then really look at those similar books for sale, like the ones being sold on Clickbank and other providers. The Amazon book section is great, and again I want to highlight again the look inside feature, looking at the table of contents as you look through those books to get some ideas of possible topics that you could include in your book. So if you're going after life coaching or success tips, look up the success books or look up the life coaching books in Amazon and then see what's in their table of contents, so you never run out of an idea of things to cover. The dummy book series does really well because they are all about, the dummy's guide to whatever the topic is. And so you get a really good nuts and bolts of what they're including in that by looking at the table of contents. Again, follow those video tutorials and research. Take notes for easy writing later. The product outline is really a good guide for your notes. And then what I do below each one of those subpoints is I maybe note out 4 or 5 things that I want to include underneath that subtopic, right? So if I'm in, the main topic, self-improvement, and then I've got the main another, top topic, which is going to be health for your self-improvement, and then a subtopic under that would be your dieting or your exercise. Then I make notes of, okay, these are the 3 or 4 diets that I want to include. And so those notes are going to help you. Another way to create an ebook that's really effective is you could actually do kind of like what I'm doing here. What I'm doing by actually talking through this is literally creating an ebook at the same time, because even though I'm talking and using a PowerPoint, I can actually have this transcribed, and you can do that at a source called rev.com. That's rev.com, rev.com, and they will actually take your written or your verbal content and transcribe it into an ebook, into written format. And so this is a really quick strategy to get your book written faster. You can use a free software called Audacity to actually go out there and record your voice, or you could use Camtasia or a screen capture program and record your voice as well. Replay the recorded audio, transcribe your content yourself, or you can go to rev.com or Fiverr, and then your book is completed. So you could talk for 1, maybe 2 hours. If you talk for an hour to 2 hours, you have enough content to create an entire ebook, especially if you talk about 2 hours and you talk at a normal pace. You're going to be looking at, after 2 hours time of your effort, of just making some notes. Now, of course, you're going to do some prep work and some outlines, but at that point, you've created enough content where you actually have an ebook that's ready to go. All it takes is 1 or 2 hours of recorded time. The bonus, again, is that you now have an audio file pre-made that you can now use as an upsell with your ebook, or use it as an additional value added bonus to your customers. Writing your book, again, attack it one bullet point at a time, attack it one sub point at a time. That's why the product outline is so important, because as you're writing an ebook, it eliminates the need for you to get that writer's block, and it takes that excuse all out of the picture. Don't try to do it all at once, take it one step at a time. Use the built-in editing and spell check tools, or by all means have a family member review what you have as well. Formatting the book is really basic. The most important things to keep in mind with your formatting of an ebook is to make sure your paragraphs aren't too long. Make sure that they're easy for people to read. They have, sometimes they have attention deficit disorder when they're going through ebooks, right? Or anything online. They are impatient. We're naturally impatient. So if they got a manuscript or an ebook with a whole long paragraph, long paragraph with no breaks in it, their eyes are going to glaze over. They're not going to get a good experience from that book, even if your content's the best in the business. So you need to have short paragraphs in there. Have bold subheadings within the chapters so people can skim through the topics and go right to what material they want to digest and get from your course. Have the clear stop and end points for the chapters. Try and button things up. So these are all things that after you maybe transcribe your content, or after you have your ebook written, or you write it yourself, you can go through and kind of tie everything together. And once it's all done, then you're going to want to create an index, and you can do that within Microsoft Office, really basic. And then make sure the pictures match up with the area they are within your ebook. So these are just some good ebook best practices as you go through creating your info product. Now, if you determine that you want to make video courses for your info product, these are the steps to do that. Because video courses, they have a lot of value to them. That's why I like to use them in my own business. And there's several types of video courses or combinations. You can do a PowerPoint style, which is exactly like this one you're watching. This is done on PowerPoint. I've got the bullet points there. I've got step-by-step screen capture recordings. That's another type of info product. So that could be, me on showing you on my screen how to do a certain tactic or step online. So let's say I'm teaching you how to use QuickBooks software. I could show you how to do that, or I could be teaching you how to create your own video online, and I could be showing you step by step with the software that I am actually using. Live demonstration is another style of video course that you can use. Live demonstrations would be me standing in front of a whiteboard teaching you. It could be me showing you some certain exercises. It could be me talking through and demonstrating what I'm trying to teach to you. It could be a variety of things, so live demonstration or just the teaching style, which has the whiteboard. But let's say you're doing puppy training, right? Instead of just writing it out, why not show people some effective methods for training a dog from start to finish? And if you're going to go with the PowerPoint style videos first, and again, you'll see what I did there is I've got PowerPoint style, step-by-step screen capture, and live demonstrations. And you guys can now see my next bullet points are going to talk through those points. So I'm going to give you several sub-points of PowerPoint style. So I give you guys this entire time a really good example of how to make a quality info product. Use PowerPoint if it's already installed. Use OpenOffice Impress. It is a free version of PowerPoint, works really well. And PowerPoint style videos is where you create your presentation and then you record it using a screen capture software, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The bullet points are teaching your topic. Structure the training similar to your ebook outline. So instead of chapters like you have with an ebook, you're going to have modules, right? So video module 1 or video number 1. It doesn't even have to be called modules. On the outline, include the main modules at the top of the slides as you go through that. So you don't need the long sentences, absolutely not. Short bullet points work very well here. It's a great way to kind of get your point across as you're training. You can use a variety of software. There is Camtasia, which is the most popular. Jing, Screencast-O-Matic is also a free way to record your screen. Cam Studio is another older software that's still out there and works on some computers. But Screencast-O-Matic, it's a browser-based software. I personally love it. I think it's a fantastic tool myself. And Screencast-O-Matic is a free way to record your video courses. And if you don't have a headset, you could use the built-in computer microphone, but I personally use a Logitech. I'm actually recording this session on a Logitech H390, so you can make a note of that. So that way you're not scrambling saying, what do I use? What headset do I use? It's a Logitech H390. Step-by-step screen capture recordings. This is where you're going to simple how-to instructional videos. How to set up your website domain name. How to create a video online. How to use QuickBooks. How to use Photoshop. How to use After Effects. How to use a web-based software tool. Show people how to do things online or on your screen. And it's a great way to do that. Tutorials on using software do really well, like Photoshop or GIMP or Paint.net. Those are all graphic-based softwares. If there's a software that you use every single day in your business, you could potentially make a video course about that. Do video courses teaching how to use Microsoft Office products or how to use the free OpenOffice software. Open source software solutions. There's a lot of those out there. So training people how to use any kind of software is really vital. And I already talked about QuickBooks because it is very popular and people make a lot of money training people how to use QuickBooks. You can do tutorials on finances or bookkeeping strategies, tutorials on internet business topics. You get the idea. It's basically recording what's happening on your screen as you do it live. And those are the types of videos. And again, the software you would use is Camtasia, Jing, or Screencast-O-Matic, like we talked about on the previous slide. Live demonstrations, you can use a phone camera or digital camera that you own already. In this day and age, our phone cameras are becoming just as powerful as a regular camera. So there's no excuse for why you can't do this type of video. Some people like this. It's just you in front of a camera. Have a family member hold your phone or get a tripod for it. Have them hold the digital camera you have. You can use a DSLR camera that has the video capability function and you will get high quality enough video. The most important thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is just shoot your video on a well-lit day with a good window in the room for the best lighting, or you can get the daylight bulbs and you can actually highlight yourself, put the lights on you and just highlight yourself in a big way as well. You can also film live demonstrations. You could teach in front of a whiteboard with the camera on you. Live demonstrations are great for like exercise routines, setting up the perfect model train set, sports skills. This does really well. Yoga, cooking demonstrations, all those types of things would do tremendously well in a video course. And another tip that you can write down, there's a website out there called lensrentals.com if you're in America. Borrowlenses.com is another one. These are websites where you can actually rent high quality camera gear for a weekend, and it might only cost you a couple $100, but you can have a high quality camera gear, the same one the professional videographers use, a $10,000 camera for maybe $100 for a weekend. It's really cool. You can use a $2,000 or $3,000 camera, high quality lenses, and film your live demonstrations. Now again, I'm not saying you do that on your first info product. I would personally use your phone's camera to do that, especially if you have one of the more recent iPhone 6, iPhone 7. Those have a really good camera on them. Audio courses do tremendous. That's where you could record MP3 of your content. It's a really fast way to make content. You can give some really raw and top training this way, especially if it's unscripted. Sometimes that's the best training out there. So the tools you need to do this, there's a free software called Audacity that allows you to get the recording software, and then you can use a USB headset or the built-in microphone on your computer. Ideally, you want to use a USB headset because your microphone is going to be the best. And again, I'm using a Logitech H390. Start with notes if you really want to. If you're somebody that likes to just go off the top of your head, that works too. But I personally like to start with some notes so I know what I am talking about. A good length is going to be between 1 and 2 hours. You could break up the recordings into sessions for easier listening. So a 2-hour recording could end up being broken down into 10 or 12 sessions, of about 10 minutes each, if that, just so you can kind of see how that works together. You could also do the transcripts, take the audio, go to rev.com. Now you've got the transcripts that are included as a bonus. So your main product could be the audio with the bonus being the transcripts, or it could be the ebook with the bonus being the audios. Either way, if you record your voice, a quick way to create your content is to have it transcribed. Small products they're quick to set up and can sell well is short reports, and that's another style of info product you can create. So you don't have to create one long 7,500 page ebook or 25 page ebook. You could actually have 5 short reports that are about 5-6 pages each that each cover a very specific topic related to your market. People are interested in solutions that solve their problems, and so a short 7 to 15 page report, maybe a 5-page report that offers a viable solution can be sold. You don't even need a series of short reports. You could actually just have one report that solves a very specific need for your market, and that could become your info product. And you may not charge as much for these because they are smaller, but it's a great way to get it's a great lead generator. It's a great way to get affiliates to promote your lower ticket part of your product, and it allows you to get customers, and it's a great way to go for your first product. You could have a 7 to 15 page report written and completed by this afternoon, depending on when you're watching this training. Start with your bullet points and ideas and then run from there. So use the same product outline template. And again, it can easily be written and completed in one day, and boom, you've got your product. And maybe you decide to do a series of these reports and it has very fast turnaround. A live webinar series. So you could actually give your content in the form of a series of live webinars. So maybe you break up all your content into 4 to 5 live webinars, and you can totally do that. This is an excellent way to sell a product before it's done. So you don't even need to have your product done in order to sell from it. It's the quickest way to market, and that is the quickest ways to sell a webinar series. You could offer a bonus Q&A session at the end of this, and make sure that it is fully recorded as well for your customers. But the bonus Q&A could also be broken up and added in as a bonus as well. You could use Google Plus for hosting the webinar for free, Google Hangouts. Consider using a backup screen tool like Screencast-O-Matic, that's a free screen capture software, or Camtasia to record your screen. Screencast-O-Matic has got a free version, and there's a $15 upgrade if you want to go without it actually watermarking your videos. And that's well worth $15 if you're creating quality info products. Really know what you'll be covering in depth for better sales. So basically you just lay out your course. You could actually use the product outline, lay out your course. This is what I'm going to cover in week 1 or session 1. This is what I'll cover in session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5. I've actually created my higher ticket programs doing a live webinar series, and that's a really good way to go. Coaching services, it's another way to not force you to have a product done. You could do like life coaching services, business or investment advice coaching. You can launch your coaching services without creating a product, just like you can launch a webinar training series without actually completing any of the product. You just do it live each session when you say you're going to do it. Fitness or dieting coaching help, money saving advice, relationship coaching advice, and you could offer sessions of your time as a service to your clients, to people that already bought your other offers as well. Something to keep in mind. Another style of info product, which I love because it allows you to break into any niche market online, and that is to find an expert in your niche to interview. You could record it in a free Skype session or Google Hangouts, and you just want to have a prepared list of questions ready for the interview. You could also do an email, a written interview as well. Those are harder to get back though. But if you can get them to sit down with you for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the case is, maybe an hour, then use that to really create a high quality product and find those people, find those authors that want to get exposure for their material. It's a win-win for them because you can offer them exposure for their book, for themselves, and at the same time you're interviewing and you're providing your market value. So what I love about this model is if you're stuck on what product to create, you can just pinpoint any niche market: fitness, the health space, the sports niche, and let's just pretend the baseball niche, right? We want to go into the baseball niche, but I love the game of baseball, but maybe I'm not the best at playing it, so I can't really create a product on that. So let's go out and find 5 to 10 baseball hitting instructors and experts and interview them on their top 10 most effective, hitting exercises or whatever the case might be. And then you go out there with your prepared list of questions for them. They give you the rundown. That product is your interview product. And try and get their bio before you interview them, so it's a clean introduction. And just act like you're having a regular conversation. You could also do the written interview that we talked about. They type their answers back. And then the most important thing, if you're going to do an expert interview series, is let them pitch their website, let them pitch their other products and their services, let them pitch their book to people as well. And it's just another way your customers can connect with that person. But most importantly, they are giving of themselves their content. And another benefit though of doing expert interviews is once your interview series is done, because that expert was a part of it, they're going to be more willing to go out there and actually promote it as an affiliate. So, and like I mentioned, it can be a joint venture partner in the future. Make this a win-win situation. So they're getting exposure to your buyers. They have a chance to make money as an affiliate as well. Interview 5 experts, 10 experts, but this is a great way to make a product in a niche you can know nothing about and still make a lot of money. You could transcribe these recordings, go to rev.com or Fiverr and have the transcription done as well. As you know, we just talked about several ways to create information products, several styles of information products, and I want to talk to you just very briefly about creating your perfect product package. To maximize your price and overall sales, consider adding in more value to your offers. It's really important. So here's an example way to create multiple formats of the same training to add to your product package's appeal. You could create a video from a PowerPoint just like this. So I could make a video training, use Screencast-O-Matic, use Camtasia, record my screen doing PowerPoint style videos. I can turn this PowerPoint that you're watching right now into a PDF file by just saving it as a PDF. I could also save the audio from this session because I'm recording it as a video, save it as an MP3 audio file or a .m4a, which is the new audio format. I could also throw in a short report that maybe I have from a PLR material. And I can find good quality private label rights content for my niche. That's content that I have the rights to rebrand and repurpose. That's what private label rights stands for. So that kind of material, you can do a Google search for PLR dog training products, PLR financial topics, PLR WordPress training, those types of topics. You can offer a live Q&A session or Google Hangouts as a bonus. Just be creative to make your offer stand out. So now what we did there is we took what I just did here, which was a PowerPoint style video. We've now got a PDF out of it. We've got an audio file, and we can offer Q&A session along with some additional PLR, and we have a massive product package, which I like to call creating the perfect product package. So now that you know the different styles of info products, you now have your product outline. It's time to choose the type of info product you want Go out there to create it and start making your first info product. Once you make this first info product, then repeat the step to make your second info product, which is going to be your upsell if you are choosing to go with a unique product there. But choose what you are going to be launching, what product you want to get to market by looking at your product outline, and let's start creating that, whether it's an ebook, a video, an audio, a webinar series, an interview product. Decide what that is and start taking action today. Welcome back. This is now lesson number 6 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is your bonuses. You must have bonuses ready to go in order to enhance the amount of sales that you make and increase the value that you're giving to your customers. Bonuses can actually make or break your info product sales. In fact, if you add in bonuses to your info products, it can dramatically increase the amount of sales you make. And by offering bonuses, you can sell more from your sales page, you can get a better conversion, you can get more people to take action. Sometimes it's the bonuses that are the main reason that people purchase your info products. So you want to make sure that your bonus complements the main info product that is at hand. That's so vital and so important. Stacking the value is essential to your success. And so that's where bonuses come into play. So you want to make sure that your bonus complements the main product, and sometimes the bonus can be the main reason they buy. So that's why I encourage people to stack the value, meaning, make your offer really stand out. Look, for example, the popular as seen on TV infomercials. They really stack the value. Right before they're closed, they're telling you if you order right now, I'm also going to throw in another one of these particular products. So I'm going to double the order. And if you order now, we're going to throw in this special carrying case that goes with this product. And that's all intended to get people excited and get them off the edge of their seats when they're close to buying because they're already hooked. And then it just takes them over the edge because that bonus does that. That's why bonuses are so beneficial. And that's why I took an entire lesson just here to talk about bonuses, because the biggest mistake I see people make with info products, they get everything else right. They might have a good quality product, they might have affiliates promoting, you're going to follow through all these steps, but they don't have bonuses in place, so they miss out on conversions. So you can really maximize your conversions by having good quality bonuses. And you can see an example here of bonuses in play on a current product launch. So you can see here how they position it on their sales copy. Get these money making bonuses for free when you get the Review Wizard right now, which is the software. Bonus number 1, free access to this image maker software. Bonus number 2, resale rights or giveaway rights to 4 of his plugins. Notice how we did this here with one of our product launches. We're not done packing in the value yet because we've got some awesome fast action bonuses. Bonus number 1 is a video course and free powerful graphics tool. We're going to start by throwing in, and then we talk about that. Bonus number 2 has another $197 value. It's free powerful screencasting tool. Bonus number 3 is 10 PLR list building packages with the squeeze page. Bonus number 4 is a members only live Q&A webinar. So you start to throw in the value there, and all of a sudden that value becomes $791 for a $37 purchase. That looks pretty phenomenal to people. It's something they want to take action on. And you'll notice again in this, I use bonuses when I'm doing selling on webinars. This one right here, final recap of everything you get today during the special event only deal. You've got the main info product workshop, which sells for $19.97. Partner traffic system bonus, 3 months email coaching, $500 with your first info product. WordPress membership, and then you go on down the list of the bonuses. And by the end of it, you've stacked the value to where it's $4,955. And when I hit them with the price point of $497 or $997, that's pretty attractive to them. It's a very attractive thing to do. So stacking the value, adding in your bonuses is really important. So here's some ideas for bonuses to help you kind of trigger some things you could offer as bonuses. Consider combining articles or blog posts that you've already created for your target market into a short report. So you could take articles that you've written out on the internet, maybe it's blog posts that you've posted online, combine those so you have 5 to 10 pages worth of material. Now you've got a short report that can become your bonus. So inventory your digital assets, inventory the videos that you've posted on YouTube. You might be able to take some of those videos and put them into an MP4 format, a video format, and offer those as a bonus. Things like your interviews, other info products you've created, reports, articles, all those are bonus ideas that you can use that are probably sitting on your hard drive. And that's why I talk about inventory your digital assets, because if you're an expert going out to make an info product, you probably have some of these materials sitting around. Some of you might even have private label rights products. Those are products that are already created that you have the rights to repurpose, rebrand, and sell as your own. You can also offer audio for your videos. So you can take the audio version of your videos, we talked about this previously, and offer that. So it gives people another chance to learn. You could take the PowerPoint slides if you have that, save it as a PDF. We talked about that previously when we talked about creating the perfect product package. Interviewing an expert is another great bonus idea. So finding an expert in your niche, giving them a win-win scenario where they can promote their product to your market. They might even want to become an affiliate for you. It's a really good strategy. Offer them email coaching. So for the next 10 people that sign up or next 100 people, I'm going to offer personal email coaching. I mentioned private label rights content. That is a treasure trove of information. Just do a basic Google search for your niche market and private label rights content and see what you can find. You can do a Google search for self-help PLR, self-help private label rights, dog training private label rights material. Private label rights content is content that's already created, already made, so you can instantly make it a bonus. So bonus ideas, combine articles in your digital assets, offer audio of your videos, offer PowerPoints, interview an expert, email coaching, private label rights content. These are all great strategies for coming up with killer bonus ideas. And again, do a Google search for your niche and the word PLR. For example, self-help PLR. That'll help you identify the private label rights content that you can rebrand for your market. You could also offer templates. Software does really well. Live Q&A sessions do fantastic. And what's great about those is you don't have to have anything created. You just let the customers dictate the questions. If you don't have a lot of customers, think of questions they would have. Use like the Q&A websites. Come up with 10 questions. There you go. You go on a live webinar. You say, here's 10 questions related to our niche. Let's answer these. You record it. That becomes your bonus. You could offer a free month into a coaching club. If you have a coaching club or a coaching group, so it's going to be live group coaching where you do 2 calls a month or 1 call a month and a training call, you could offer them access to that. Offer bonuses from top vendors or affiliates in your niche. So let's say you have a top affiliate and you want to give them an opportunity to build their list off your buyers because they're promoting hard for you. Then you can actually include one of their products in the package and make that a bonus idea. You could also give them the chance to exchange their email. That's a really creative way to get a top affiliate to mail for you when otherwise they may not mail for you because they're getting a direct benefit. Find related trainings. So, for example, if you're in the weight loss or fitness niche, you could offer mindset training as a bonus because that fits perfectly because you need to have a good mindset in order to be a good trainer. If you are doing, a relationship product, an information product on cooking tips could make a great bonus, especially if it's about being more romantic, right? So if it's a product targeted towards males about how to be more romantic or towards females, then talk about 10 romantic meal ideas. That's a perfect bonus to add into that product. So it's not exactly about relationships, but it's a way to enhance the relationship. So think of those related trainings that you can utilize as bonuses. And so bonuses are so vital to your success, you should be using them with your info products. So let's start making a list of your bonus ideas right now for your info product. Think of your digital assets. Think of the products you've created, the blog posts that you've written, the videos that you've already put out there, and then utilize those as bonuses as you piece together your perfect info product package here. Welcome back. We are on lesson number 7 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we are going to talk about writing your sales copy or copywriting and creating your sales video if you decide to do that. The reason we need to do copywriting is because that's how you sell your product to your audience. The same principles that I talk about here that are key to effective copywriting are also going to translate and correlate into effective sales videos as well. Your sales page or your sales video or your sales copy, that's how it's all referred to in this business. It's how you sell your product. Use your sales copy or sales video to sell what you have, to sell your customers on why they need to purchase your info product. It's how you persuade the website visitors and the traffic you're getting to buy your product. Anyone can become a good copywriter with practice. And that's something really important to keep in mind, is that if you practice effective sales copywriting, you will quickly become a really good sales copywriter. That means you're going to have better conversions. Your products are going to sell really well. Perfecting good copy or sales video conversions will make you go far with your online business, because if you can increase your conversions just slightly, you can maximize your revenues tremendously. We're going to cover the elements of good conversion, getting sales letters, and videos on the next few slides. And so it's really important that you pay attention here, because in this lesson, you're now at the spot where you need to start writing and creating your sales copy, your sales material, and putting it together so you can effectively launch your own info product. So with copywriting, we like to start off with what's called the AIDA Basics. Now this also applies to sales videos as well. AIDA is the basis for all good sales message. It's an acronym which stands for attention. You first must get your audience's attention to read your sales letter or message. So that's where you see the headline that's so vital and so important. Your headline should draw them in. So if you're at any sales page or any sales copy that you've seen, they usually have a highly effective headline on there. Same thing goes if you're looking at advertisements in magazines and you're flipping through a magazine on an airplane or something and you see an ad that pops out. That's because it was an effective headline. The headline is intended to draw you in to that sales copy. The top paid copywriters, they spend most of their time on the headline because it's that important. If you think of it, if you spend all the time on writing the best sales letter in the world, but you really don't spend a lot of time on your headline and nobody reads the rest of your great sales copy, then what good was it, right? So you need to focus 100% of your attention on the headline. That's so vital. You can pique interest with benefits here. So you can pique the audience's interest with benefits. So add in benefits like what are they going to get from your product. Finally, you can break free from the rat race of your regular job and start earning real income online. That'd be a great example of a benefit. Know your market, know what makes them tick, know what you need to do to get their attention. You can also follow the interest right after. That's the next part after attention. So first thing is get their attention. A good headline does that, a good subheadline, a good opening to your sales video. Grab them into your copy with the compelling story that kind of hooks them as to what kind of material you can provide to people. Let them know why they need your product. So instantly give them that hook. Why do they need your product? Why is it going to benefit them? How is it going to make their life better? Those are things you need to keep in mind. How is it going to improve their life? How is going through your product going to change their outlook on life? Desire, building up the desire, is the next part of the AIDA formula. In the desire phase, you want to paint a picture in their mind about how their life will be better once they've acquired your course, your training, whatever it is you're offering and selling. Be very specific here, very specific examples. And so, as far as painting the life goes, you don't just want to say your life's going to be better. You might want to say, imagine taking that vacation that you've always wanted and you take your family to Disneyland and you go and enjoy time and you don't have to worry about money. That would be a very specific example because you're painting in their mind a very specific picture of what they're going to get as a benefit from going through your course. Or let's say you're doing a course on how to look better and get in better shape, and you could say, imagine how your spouse is going to look at you finally after you get fully in shape and go through this course. Offering a guarantee can really up the desire as well, because that makes people think, all right, if this doesn't work for me, I still have a way out. I still have a guarantee. And then the action phase. This is where you encourage your audience to purchase your offer. It's so important that you do this and really call for that sale. Do not be afraid to sell. Do not be afraid to ask for that sale. Do not be afraid to say, take action right now if you're serious about taking your business to the next level. So these are the main components of good copywriting messages. You can review this, come back to this, but as you create your copy, make sure you keep in mind the AIDA formula. As you're creating your copy as well, there are some questions you want to ask. Now, we talked about it as we went into knowing your target audience. We talked about, as you're creating your product outline, knowing who you're creating your info products for, but you want to know who are your prospective customers. What issues are they struggling with, and how can your product benefit them? What are their desires, their needs, their occupations, their ages? Understanding these things help you become a more effective copywriter. How is your product or service different from the market? So think of things that can differentiate yourself. Think deep about what makes your product better than the rest so you can tell people exactly what makes it better from the best products out there. Review their products or sales pages, see what your competition is actually selling out there. Why should the prospect have faith in you? Why should your audience potentially want to buy from you? Think of that question. And if you're sincere, professional, you create confidence in your background, people are going to see that. They're going to naturally develop that faith in who you are. But just think to yourself, why should my prospects have faith in me? Is it my story? Is it my background? What can I offer them that's going to change their life? Personalize your message to your audience just like you're talking to a friend. It's really important. And empathize by showing that you care about their particular situation that they happen to be going through. You can persuade with benefits to give a person a logical, compelling reason to buy. Give them all the benefits of the world as to, how your product's going to change their life, how it's going to benefit them drastically. Prove your trustworthiness or believability with testimonials, with pictures. Those types of things really stand out. Pictures of yourself, screenshots of what you did, maybe results from your fitness, what you did after you worked out, maybe results that you did after going through your training, maybe results that you've had, in your life. Those types of things create that believability. What are all the benefits your product or service adds to the consumer? Don't confuse this with the features here. Benefits are way different from the features. Benefits are what they get from using your product. So that would be financial freedom, weight loss, vacations, no longer having to work a regular 9 to 5 job, free time, time with family. Features are things like number of pages, how many, hours of video are in this training course, how many video lessons are there. Those are the features. But make sure that you know all the benefits of your product. Your headline should really draw people in with a good benefit. That's really important. And you want to paint an image of your customers of the life after your product. So you want them imagining in their mind after they've gone through your course how their life is going to be transformed, how their life is going to be different. What might your customers' objections be? Walk in your customer's shoes for a moment. Think of questions that you have before purchasing. Point out negatives and turn those into positives. So think of all the things they're going to be objecting and turn those into positives. Research your target market. Look at forums with product reviews that show common objections. So find those common products in your niche, and especially if you're selling your info product on Clickbank, you'll see the top sellers in your category. You can do a Google search for that and review in the word forum. So you could say, let's say the product's called Bodybuilding Today. Bodybuilding Today review forum, and then see what forums pop up for that, and you're going to see people's very honest opinions of the products, and you'll see the common objections that they have for why somebody shouldn't buy that product. You could integrate those objections into your copy and use that as a way to kind of turn people in your favor. Why should your prospect act now? That's a simple question, but you want to give them a reason to buy now. Examples of that could be a special price, could be a value added bonus, could be a very unique opportunity, could be you're taking away a bonus if they don't take action. They can't afford to keep suffering from their problem and need to act fast. I mean, if you're doing a back pain product and, or you're doing a product about grief and getting over grief and bad situations, honestly, that you don't even need to say the price is going away. Your reason that they should act is they simply can't afford to keep suffering from their problem. They can't afford to keep battling the depression. They can't afford, to keep going through the anguish. They can't afford to keep struggling with their online business, and they need to act fast. So give them a reason to act quickly. Always use a reader-friendly font whenever you're writing your sales copy. So I like to start writing my sales copy in like a Word document, and then I will actually convert it over into a page builder tool that we'll talk about in one of the next lessons. And so I like to use basic fonts when I'm publishing it on my main websites, whether it's using Optimized Press or Lead Pages. They actually have really good font choices, but if you are going to go on your own, like with an HTML page, look at those traditional fonts like Arial, the Verdana, Courier New, Times New Roman, Tahoma. Easy to read, black font on a white or light colored background. Those work best for kind of drawing people in. Highlight your hot button phrases. So as you're writing your copy, you want to bold phrases that really jump out. So hot buttons are the phrases that really drive home a point to your audience, and these are the words that should stand out for your audience. You can make them bold, italic, you can underline them, use different colors, different size, or highlight it in yellow, for example, to really drop out or pop out. Make your headline pop and grab attention for people. It's already been mentioned, but that's where it's very vital to get the attention. So try to promise some kind of benefit or reward for reading that page. And it should lure the reader into your copy, giving them that reason. What's the key benefit? Quit struggling once and for all with your info products, or struggling with not having enough money in the bank, and follow this simple step-by-step system to success. For example, if you're creating a headline, a bad headline might be send large files to your friends. Like, let's pretend you had a file sharing website. But a good headline would be the easiest, most trusted way to send super large files. Or this makes all other file sharing applications obsolete. Those are a lot better headlines. It's not just files, they're super large files, and not just a way, it's the easiest and most trusted way. And that's why it draws people in. Create reader-friendly paragraphs in your copy. So as you're writing it in the Word document, before you convert it over to the page builder, you want to make sure it's chopped up into short paragraphs. I like to restrict it to 4 to 6 lines each. People have a very short attention span online, and they like to skim when they're reading copy. And if you give them a big long paragraph, they're going to leave your page and they're going to miss out of some really important points that you have to make. So stay clear of long 10 to 12 line paragraphs. Vary the length of your paragraphs as you go through the process. Draw attention and promote continued reading with subheadlines and more. Subheadlines typically are bolded or different color, so a subheadline could go right below your main headline and gives people another benefit for why they should read your copy. Bullet points do a good job. You see them in sales copy. That's where you can actually give people some key selling points. Numbers do well, like top 5 reasons they should take action now. And typically these are going to be centered, like your bullets, your numbers, your subheadline. Try to not overuse subheadlines, throughout your copy. Try to not go overboard on bolding and other, coloring features, because that's going to limit their effectiveness in your copy. As you're writing sales copy, another good tip to go through is to create hope for people. That's convenience, comfort, relief from pain, whether it's emotional or physical pain or stress in their life. Just really create that era of hope, that your product's convenient for them. It's creating comfort, it's creating relief from the problems they have. Give them hope that your offer can help them tremendously. Create a sense of urgency for why they need to be acting. Add incentives to your offer and take those away. Possibly take away a bonus. Let them know about a future price increase if you have that. And I'm reiterating some of these points because it's so important as you're going through your copywriting. So creating that urgency is big. Being the authority is another really important part. Really drive home that you're there to help them, drive home why they should listen to you. What kind of things have you done in the past that makes people want to, purchase your products? Demonstrate anything you can show to show that you are an authority in that niche market that you're creating a product on. Study effective sales copy is another good strategy. This is one area that I actually like to study because I can always be better at it. Spending time on the weekends or a little bit each day to read what top copywriters have done in the past is key. Look for people like Gary Halbert, John Carlton, Bob Bly. Those are great copywriters that you can actually research their top sales letters and get an idea from. You could also do a Google search for top copywriting swipe files, and you can actually use these swipe files and get ideas for sales copy, things that you can add into your copy. The old sales copy from the old newspaper ads and old magazine ads, it's some of the best material out there for finding high quality copywriting that you can do. Another thing I like to do is look at the top converting products on Clickbank, and you'll see those. They're the most popular products on Clickbank for a particular category. Another good strategy is when you're writing sales copy, apart from just studying the effective copy, but after you guys have written your sales copy, and I'm giving you a brain dump of information for writing your first sales letter, and you can start by just going through each one of these. Start with your headline, draw people in with your story, and just go down this list here of all the components of your sales copy. Poor grammar or bad spelling, it's going to crush your credibility online. So make sure you are proofreading and spending that time to proofread. Simple, proofreading can actually really enhance your sales copy. Be unique within your copy, your unique selling proposition. Know what that is. Know what distinguishes you from the crowd. Is your training different? Your training style? Think of the creative ways to differentiate yourself. Encourage them to buy from your other competitors first and let them know that they'll be back to buy from you. You could actually be that bold if you wanted to as well. Test your copy. Get traffic going to your sales page, whether it's from affiliates or paid traffic, and really track your conversions and sales. Know how your conversions are, know how many people are buying your products, know how many people, are taking action on it. And once you know your numbers, then you can really enhance your copy, changing the headline, adding in a bonus, adding in bullet points. All those types of things help and assist you in creating a really good product. So the guarantee is, offer a money back guarantee for your offer of at least 30 days. That's really important. Clickbank requires at least 30-day guarantee, sometimes 60 days. And so you may as well include it. The big platforms like Jvzoo and Clickbank highly suggest it. Clickbank, it's a must that you must have a guarantee. And so you may as well use it in your sales copy. It takes away the doubt in the reader's mind. So make sure you do that. And here's an example of a sales letter. And the reason I want to show this to you is because as you create your letter, I want you to envision this, because for this lesson, I want you to start writing your sales letter in a Word document or in a notepad file so you can start to create and piece together your sales copy for your product. And your sales copy does not need to be as long as mine is here. It can be short and sweet. It's all a matter of getting started with understanding good copywriting. So you can see here it starts with the headline. So that's the opening of my copy. It's got a good headline and a good sub headline as well. And you notice this headline, you could actually swipe this. You're about to learn the exact blueprint for building an enormous list of hungry buyers. So you could change that. You're about to learn the exact strategies for finally having your dog trained within weeks instead of years. You're about to learn the exact strategy and system that I followed to lose weight, gain a bigger following, and start to be more successful in my life and my relationships. Believe it or not, one simple list is all it takes. Believe it or not, one simple training course is all it takes. Warning, simplicity prevails. And then we open it up with a little story here, and you can see here that throughout the copy, you're talking about your product. You've got the bold things that jump out. So I'm talking about a responsive list. Well, that draws my eyes there, so I start to read that. The next thing, you introduce your product with a really good, effective product graphic, so you can do that. And then you introduce your product with bullet points as well. So you go through as you introduce the product with bullet points. Here's a testimonial here within this product. This video training series is exactly what anybody should use to make money online. You could say this video course is the exact strategies anybody should use to finally earn a living. You can change that. You can see the subheadlines throughout. I've got bullet points so you can get an idea of how bullet points are used effectively. You can see the subheadlines. You can see I'm even overcoming objections, because they're probably thinking, well, this sounds like an expensive course, but I'm overcoming that. So then you go over to how you're slashing the price. You give them a fast mover bonus. You've removed all the risk, the money back guarantee if they take action. You give them a recap of the offer. That's really important that you recap it. And then right here, you give them a reason, for why they should purchase. Yes, you put your name in there. I want to secure my copy. I understand I'm receiving this. And then you go down to the list. There's your PS. The PS field is really important to sales copy, because it's here where you can actually sell them on additional benefits. And so you could say, PS, make sure you take action right now, because this offer could be going away. The price is increasing. If you act right now, you're going to be that much closer to your dreams and your goals. So those are things you can add into the PS field there as well. So this is an effective training. Let's start writing our sales copy right now. Welcome back. This is lesson number 8 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to create your info product graphics. So in the last lesson, we went over sales copy and effective sales copy. So at this point, you should have a good handle on your sales copy. You should have started writing your sales copy. And now it's time to kind of fine tune and create some graphics so that you can effectively sell your product online. So the graphics, they can really enhance your sales copy or your sales video. That's why I'm including these after we wrote the sales copy, because I always write the sales copy first. They can improve your conversions. They can make your audience want to see your offer more. People tend to like graphics more than words, and that's why they are so appealing, and that's why they are something you definitely want to look into. A properly created graphic can boost the chances of you getting the sale from your market because it can draw them into your offer that much more. And I'm going to share with you a couple of tools and ways you can go about getting graphics made for your product. And the first one is that you can outsource it. And this is one of my favorite places to outsource my e-cover graphics, my even video creatives that I use in my sales material, but e-cover graphics, other kinds of graphics that you use. A tremendous way to do that is on Fiverr. So you can go to fiverr.com, and you can create and find graphics. So you can create your e-cover graphics, you can create banner ads, create graphics for your product itself. So fiverr.com is really good for that, for finding those sellers that actually create really good e-covers. You can see the reviews, and there's some really good ones out there. So fiverr.com is great for creating your product graphics and your e-covers. Jvzoo.com, this is a paid software. It's a web-based software, but they create really amazing graphics. I mean, everything from banner ads and to you name it, web banners and all these types of tools that I've actually used on my sales page to make really cool, highly effective graphics. Like even these graphics that I'm showing here, these are graphics that people can use for little Facebook quotes and images, but imagine embedding that onto your sales page and imagine how much better it's going to make your copy pop or your offer, stand out from the market. So those are things to keep in mind as well. Is a software like Jvzoo, it's a one-time fee. I think it may have gone to a monthly fee, but it's very well worth it. They're really high quality software. Canva.com. Canva is great because they actually have a lot of great free images that you can create. So you can create infographics, you can create really cool, little subheadlines or supporting graphics. They also have a paid option which gives you a lot more possibilities, but canva.com is loaded with image capabilities. And so if you're somebody like me that's maybe not a big designer, you can use a tool like Jvzoo or like Canva and actually create some really, really effective graphics. Another great one to use for your info products is Pixel Studio FX. Pixel Studio FX, and this software actually allows me to create really effective and clean looking e-covers. So if you don't want to go to Fiverr and hire people, you can actually do it with Pixel Studio FX all at your fingertips. And this is another one of my all-time favorite graphic tools out there. It's called Placeit.net. Placeit.net. And on Placeit.net, you literally upload one of your images and you can download for free the small version of this image. And the small version is plenty good for your sales pages and your sales videos and sales copy. And you can actually upload this and your graphic, so your e-cover graphic, your, maybe a screenshot from your sales video, maybe a picture of you, that could show up on a cell phone, it can show up on computers, it can show up on mobile devices, all displayed really creatively. It's a really cool way to stand out from the crowd and have your info product, jump out from the rest of the competition. So Placeit.net, really powerful software to use. So let's choose our graphics platform or choose a couple of these graphics platforms and let's start creating your graphics for your info product. When you use graphics, it's going to highly increase the chances of your conversion and you getting success and selling more products. This is lesson number 9 of your first info product. And in this training, we're going to talk about uploading your course material. At this point, you should have created your sales copy. You've obviously created your info product now to be at this step. And also, you have created some graphics. And so now it's time to get the graphics, the sales copy potentially and your info product up and live on the internet. So to do that, we need to upload our course material. And to do that, there's a couple of tools. Number one that I use for uploading my video files, my MP3 files, is I upload my course material to Amazon S3. That's the first thing I do because it offers the best customer experience. There's no delays in downloads, and it's the cloud service. And so that means your files are safe in the cloud, and further, your customers are able to access that material a lot quicker, and there's no server lags. You don't have to worry about, having too many people downloading at one time. It's also very low cost. The price of it has gone down extremely low. I've done some of my largest launches online with a lot of video content, and it has not been that expensive at all to have. So it's very inexpensive, and it's really used by a lot of people. It's widely used and respected by all marketers. So uploading to Amazon S3 is something really powerful to do. You just go to amazon.com/S3. There's a couple ways you can upload into Amazon S3, and it used to be more complicated. It really has gotten a lot easier for you. They actually have a really simple, you can upload it through their web interface. So you just upload through the Amazon S3 browser, which I find to be extremely simple to do. And then there's also another tool out there called Bucket Explorer. And so that is one option. The second thing you can do to upload your files if you do not want to use Amazon S3 is you can upload them to your current hosting company. And so to do that, I use an FTP software called FileZilla, and it's a free software. You can just do a Google search for it. And what FileZilla does is it allows you to get the files from your computer up to your web hosting server, just like you're taking the files from your computer and uploading them to Amazon S3. And so to do this step, you're going to, go in. Down here I've got a picture of what FileZilla looks like. You're going to copy and paste the files from your computer and upload them to the right, which is going to go to your web hosting server. And then from there you can right click, and now you've got the links to your download pages. You've got the links to all your course material out there as well. And you need to upload your course material, so that'd be like your MP4, the audio files, those types of things need to be uploaded so that you can move on to the next step. So this step is to upload your course material, your MP4, your PDFs, your MP3 files, either through Amazon S3 or through FileZilla, because in the next step we're going to go over step by step how to set up your download pages, and you're going to need to have these files loaded up for this next step. This is lesson number 10 of your first info product. And in this lesson, I'm going to discuss how to create your download and thank you pages. So you can create a download page to deliver all your products from. The download page is where your customers will go in order to access your info product. This is really vital to the process because you need to have a place where they can download your materials. Now, I keep my download pages very simple. You can set up elaborate pages, using optimized press and lead pages, and set up more complicated download areas if you choose. I like to keep it very simple. I use a white HTML page that you can create using composer.net. And then all I do is I just, highlight. So I might call it video 1, video lesson number 1, and I'll just hyperlink, do a hyperlink direct to where that file is located. So if I uploaded my files through Amazon S3, I would hyperlink there. If I uploaded them through my own regular server like we did in the last lesson, then I would hyperlink those files on that page. My thank you page is also very simple. It's designed, when I'm using Clickbank, I like to use the thank you page so I can capture my customers onto an email list, onto a database, and keep in touch with them. But you want to just keep your thank you page very simple. If you're using Jvzoo as a platform, and we'll talk about platforms in lesson number 14, but if you are going to use Jvzoo, for example, you don't necessarily need to have that landing page because they will track your customer emails for you and take them through the right area. Whereas Clickbank, I like to set the thank you for your purchase as the first thank you page, and then once they land on this, that form will redirect them to the next part of the funnel. Just keep it simple, and you can keep your download page around a membership plugin if you want, like a member, or also wish list. And so you could create a download area inside wish list and then integrate that also. So that's another strategy. Wish list is great because it works within WordPress. So that is another option for delivering your material. So here are two examples, of my download pages, and you can see here the download pages are super simple. They've just got a link here, download here. And so you just write out that text, download here, you would highlight it, and then you would just choose insert hyperlink, and the hyperlink would be the link to wherever the product is that you hosted. So wherever you uploaded the files in lesson number 9, that's where you're going to link to here in lesson number 10 to set up your download page. One of the things that you want to do as well while you're on the download page topic is you want to do what I call monetizing your download page. And that means putting a banner ad for your coaching program, for maybe a related affiliate product. If you do not do this, you are leaving out a lot of money. You're losing out on a lot of potential money for you. So monetizing your download page is very important, and it's a vital step in this process to maximize your earnings potential, maximize your revenue. So that means, you have a captive audience of people that already trust you enough to buy from you. Why not include a link to another related product or related training, another product that you own? It could be an affiliate link, or it could be your own coaching club or coaching program or private coaching, and use that as a way to upsell your customers that are serious about getting more information from you. And I like to include that at the bottom of my download area after they're able to access all my material. Whether it's on a download page or inside of a membership area. Welcome back to Your First Info Product. This is lesson number 11, and here in a lesson number 11 we are going to talk about setting up your JV page. So at this point you should have your download page set up, your product all created, everything done and ready to go. So your download pages are done, and now all you need to focus on is setting up your JV page and getting your product live on the marketplace and start recruiting your affiliates. So let's set up our JV page, and I'm going to show you an example of one of my JV pages. I treat my JV pages just like I do a sales page. In fact, when you look at this, you're going to think it's very similar to a product launch page, to a sales page, because it is, because I want to sell my affiliates on why they should be promoting for me, on why they should be promoting my product. So you can see here I really draw attention to the fact that it's a hot converting offer for easy cash. Promote one of the top vendors in this category. So you can see I start with a nice headline that really grabs their attention and draws them in. So I do a very good job about that as well. I give them some social proof. I'm always building my affiliate email list on here. So I talk about the product, about the sales funnel. So if you have your front end and then your upsell, I let people know, what kind of commissions they're going to be getting. And then I also, if there are testimonials from affiliates, I will include those just like you would on a sales page. But most importantly is you want to make sure that you are capturing their name and email so that you can follow up with those affiliates later on at a later point, because if they go to your page and they just grab your link and they promote, that's great. But what about your next launch or your next offer or the next promotion that you're doing for your product? They may not know about it. So it's really important that you do that and that you work on setting up your JV page. And so I do a very basic JV page. You can use Composer to create this. You can use some of the page building tools we'll talk about in the next video as well. But in this point, you need to really focus on setting up a quality JV page. So right here you can see that kind of introduce who we are, who this product is by and who created it. And then we can go through the next part of the process, which is to, highlight the product, talk about what they're going to find in the product. And it's almost like you're just recapping what you've already done in your sales copy, but just kind of putting it in a format for your affiliates to find. And then I always provide a link at the bottom for people to grab their email swipes. And you want to create your email swipes. And what your email swipes are is they are swipe files that your affiliates can just copy and paste and hit send to their email database. And it gets people, to kind of, get interested in the products that you have to promote. And that's the whole purpose of the email swipes. And so it's really effective. It's an effective strategy for getting massive amounts of traffic from your affiliates, and you want to make life as easy as possible for them. So I like to have 3 to 4 swipe files ready to go at all times. And you don't need to have a ton of them ready to go. You don't need to let it bog you down. But you can use the same emails that you're going to send to your list, but maybe tweak them a little bit and then copy and paste them on here for your affiliates. And then notice how I put in, your Clickbank ID here, or you could just put in parentheses your affiliate link, and then they would know to insert their affiliate link there. So it's really powerful way to go. But set up your email swipes page as well. And again, it's very easy to do. Have 2 to 3 email swipes. You can pull bullet points from your sales copy. That's why we're doing it in this order. And to set up your JV page, you can use one of the page building tools that we're going to talk about in the next lesson, or you could use Composer, which is a free HTML editor to create your JV page. But you can see here the JV page is short and sweet. It highlights why they need to be promoting your product, what they're going to find out of it. But it's really important that you have a JV page, because this is the hub. This is the place you're going to be sending all your affiliates to. And you want to have a central website. You don't want to just, be sending them to the Clickbank marketplace or straight into Jvzoo. You want to be sending them to a page you can actually capture their name and email for the future, and also pre-sell them on why they should be promoting your product. So go out there and let's start creating our JV page. It's a really powerful part of your promotional strategy. This step is really key to your success with info products. This is lesson number 12 of the Your First Info Product training. And in this training, we are going to talk about how you're going to move your sales copy from the Word document that it should be written down in to your page builder of choice. And there are several different page builders, and I personally use a page builder in my own business because it's effective for me. Using a third-party page builder is increasingly important because it's mobile responsive, and the sales pages look very clean on mobile devices, on iPads, on netbooks, on notebooks, on laptops. It looks good across all devices. The layouts tend to be clean. They have proven templates that are ready to convert. Point and click simple. So if you can point your mouse, you can edit in these documents. You do not need to hire a web designer anymore, because the point and click tools that are out there are so powerful. And so you want to get that sales copy that you've created, and you want to move that into a page builder of your choice. You could also use Composer, which I'll talk about that in a moment, which is also for strictly HTML pages as well. It also speeds up your time to market because you're in control of when you get your page live, and it puts the control in your hands, so you're not relying on a web designer to put everything together for you. In this step, you're going to move the sales copy from lesson 7 to your third-party page builder software. And you're going to want to make good use of headlines and subheadlines when you do this. So it's extremely important that you go about this process the right way. And so I'm going to introduce you to several different page builders that you can start to use to convert your sales copy that you created already in the Word document and start copying and paste it over into the page builder of choice. The first page builder that's out there is ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels has been around for several years. It's created by one of the top internet marketers of all time, Russell Brunson, and Russell's absolutely brilliant. He's created a really nice platform for creating point and click sales funnels and sales pages that look very clean and very simple. It does cost a monthly fee to use this, but it's definitely worth it. And so this is definitely a tool that you could add to your arsenal as well. So the next thing is Lead Pages. Lead Pages is another very powerful tool that you can use. It creates simple landing pages, sales pages that you can point and click your mouse on, and they're very effective. And so it's starting at about $47 to $67 a month for Lead Pages. Varies on the pricing at times, but it is another monthly fee. But they do create some really powerful, clean looking sales page templates that you can easily copy and paste your content into. Optimize Press is by far my personal favorite. I use it. It is a WordPress plugin, and you just integrate it straight with WordPress. It's either can be used as a theme or a plugin. They give you both. It is a one-time fee for Optimize Press. I believe it's $97 one time right now, which is a lot cheaper than ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. So if you are looking at an inexpensive page builder tool, I would highly recommend Optimize Press. That's what I personally use, and it creates really clean, simple looking pages, and it's another great tool that you can utilize. And then finally, a free option that you can use is Composer, and you can find that at composer.net. And what Composer is it is an HTML editor and also known as a WYSIWYG editor, which stands for what you see is what you get. So that means you can type on it just like you're typing into Microsoft Word, and you're going to be, putting together your sales copy the same way. So you can kind of, copy and paste your content from the Word document into a notepad, and then copy and paste it from that notepad, that TXT file, directly into Composer, and then you can format the text, make it bold, make it highlighted, do whatever you want to kind of format that text. But Composer is a really simple platform that you can use to create some effective but clean looking sales pages. And so you'll see that I work a lot with HTML pages. They're very simple to use. Some of the more popular products on Clickbank are just straight HTML pages as well. So you can choose which one you want to go with, but you need to choose one of these so you can start copying and pasting your sales copy into your preferred page builder. So again, there's ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Optimize Press, and Composer, which can be found at composer.net. It's a free software. So let's start integrating our sales page. Put your sales page into your preferred page builder so you can move on to the next step. This is lesson number 13 of the Your First Info product training. And in this lesson, we're going to discuss how to set up your upsell pages. So in the previous lesson, we discussed some platforms that you can use in page builders to get a clean looking sales page using the sales copy that you've already written from a previous lesson. So this step, you're going to take the same sales copy that you're actually created for your upsell, and we're going to integrate it into our upsell pages. But I wanted to share with you a couple of just technical things so you understand as you're creating the upsell pages how your upsell pages will work. So you want to set up your upsell pages so you can maximize your revenues. As we've already discussed, you must launch with an upsell if you want to have a chance at success. Your upsells are extremely important to your overall product launch success and whether or not you're going to make maximum dollars or not. In this step, you need to move your sales copy for the upsell to the website page building tool that you are using. And I personally, if I'm using Optimize Press for my front end, I'm going to use Optimize Press for the back end as well. It's very important that you also use a no thanks link that leads on to the next page. And I'll show you an example of that. So as you're building these pages out, make sure that you link to the next part of your funnel, which maybe is the second upsell, or maybe it's to the end of the funnel where they can download the front end product at that point. This no thanks link should be prominent and stand out. That's very important because if you do not make it prominent, do not make it stand out, you're actually going to be leaving people that are going to just leave the page and they're going to lose out on seeing the rest of your funnel, which means you're going to lose out on that revenue because they are not seeing that offer. When you set up the page properly, you will guide people through the sales funnel. So it's really important that you set up these pages correctly inside your page builder. So you'll notice this is an example of an upsell page that I have going for a current live funnel. So after people purchase the product, they're taken to a page that looks like this, where we talk about I can get a license to resell this product. So there's my product there. You'll notice that right below the buy now button on that funnel, that's where I include the no thanks link. When they click on that no thanks link, they are then taken directly to the next page in the sales funnel. And I like to include it below the buy now button. Even if I have multiple buy now buttons, I will include that no thanks link multiple times. A lot of people just include it just the one time, or they include it at the very bottom, or they use very small font because they don't want to draw attention to it. It's actually quite the opposite. You want to draw that attention to it because you want to make sure that they click on that instead of exiting out, because if they exit, they're not going to see the rest of your upsells if you have several upsells in place. And so that takes them to the next offer. And again, these pages are set up using Optimize Press, so very basic but clean. If they click on no thanks, they're taken to the download area, continue to the download area. From here, they'll click on no thanks, they're taken to the other part of the funnel as well. And at the very end of the funnel, I kind of keep my no thanks link a little bit smaller because at the very end of the funnel, they're going to access their download from their email. If they were to exit out, they're going to see it in their inbox. And also, I don't want to draw attention away from my higher ticket offer that's there. So make sure when you're setting up these upsell pages in your page builder of choice that you are using the no thanks link to guide people through the funnel as well. And so when I say guide them through the funnel, you would set up a link to go to the next page in there. And again, the tools you can use, the page builder tools that we talked about in detail on the last call or the last session, it was ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, Optimize Press, which is my page of choice, page builder of choice, and then Composer.net. And so these are the tools you can use to lead people through your sales funnel. Welcome back to your first info product, and in this lesson number 14 we're going to discuss how to set up your product to sell on the platforms online so you can have affiliate tracking done, so you can actually sell the product and make your sales. So we're going to talk about the shopping carts you can use, how you can make those sales, and how you can pay your affiliates at the same time, because that's very essential to the process of making money with info products. And then the final video that we'll cover is how step by step you go about recruiting affiliates to the platform that you choose. You want to choose the platform that you want to use to sell on. So you can go with Clickbank, and we'll talk about Clickbank. They've been in business for 17 years now. They process transactions in over 100 countries. They have a great customer support team in place, and they have a very strong affiliate marketplace. So they already have affiliates ready to go. They've been paying their affiliates on time and vendors for 17 years. And again, you can process transactions in over 100 different countries. And one of the best parts about Clickbank that not a lot of people know is that they have a whole service center, customer support team for you as well, where they can make phone calls for you. They pay affiliates on time, every time, and they're a great company to work with. And they also accept a variety of payment options. Jvzoo is another very popular up and coming platform, been around for many years, and they have really established themselves in the marketplace. Jvzoo offers instant PayPal commissions to your affiliates, which is highly attractive. The only drawback to Jvzoo for the instant pay is that you must accept PayPal, but they do offer Stripe integration, so that means you could accept payments via credit card through Stripe or Authorize.net if you have that account. And they actually track and pay the affiliates automatically as well. And then PayPal is another platform. The one thing with PayPal, you can definitely use it to accept your payments, and you need PayPal to have Jvzoo. But with PayPal, you cannot track, with PayPal alone, you cannot track your affiliates very easily. So you need to use Clickbank or Jvzoo if you're going to have an affiliate, if you're going to reach affiliates. And I highly recommend you use Clickbank or Jvzoo. There's other ways you can track affiliates, but you're going to end up having to do it in-house. It's going to get complicated for paying them out, and it's just a lot easier if you use something that's established like Clickbank or Jvzoo for tracking affiliates. Plus, it's a low barrier to entry, very inexpensive for you to get started on those platforms and to start selling. And it's a great way to sell without affiliates though is PayPal. So if you have coaching programs or other services you want to offer, you could use PayPal for that. So Clickbank, again, this is what Clickbank looks like, clickbank.com. They've been around for a long time, so this is a processor that you could set up your account on. It's definitely one that I would highly recommend for you going into the digital product space, especially if you're doing a niche product launch that's outside of the internet marketing realm. Anything in the health, fitness, the diet space, the weight loss space, education space, supplements even, arts and entertainment, anything in those categories is going to be perfect, a fantastic fit for Clickbank. They do a tremendous amount of business. They've generated billions of dollars in sales online. They have 200 million customers worldwide. You simply cannot go wrong with Clickbank, and they are the leading provider of info products in the world. Jvzoo is another tremendous platform. We did talk about them, and they are somebody that you can start to use with Jvzoo to start setting up your affiliate program and start getting people to promote for you, promote your product. And again, they work with other niche markets as well, not just internet marketing, and so you can get established with them also. And then PayPal is the other processor that you want to look at setting up, because you definitely want to have PayPal no matter what at somewhere in your business and in your funnel. PayPal is a great way to accept payments if you're not using it already. And if you are, that's great, but make sure you have PayPal set up and established if you are going to start using Jvzoo. So you do need to have a payment processor in place, and so you need to decide who you're going to use for your product launch. 90% of the time, I would say go with Clickbank if it's going to be outside of the internet marketing space. If it is an internet marketing, a WordPress, a software related product related to marketing a business, Jvzoo is going to be your ideal platform for that. So most of you're going to probably launch your product on Clickbank and start selling it that way. Clickbank also has a great joint venture feature, as does Jvzoo. So that means if you have business partners that you partner up with to launch, that means you can pay them out automatically. It works seamlessly, really simple setup, and it works super smooth, and it's a great approach. So these are the platforms you can set up. So now in this step, it's time to decide what platform you want to use, whether it's Clickbank, Jvzoo, or PayPal, but you need to choose one of them so we can start to recruit our affiliates in the next step. And most importantly, it's going to be either Clickbank or Jvzoo if you're going to be recruiting affiliates, which is what I highly recommend if you want to maximize your earnings with info products. Welcome back. This is lesson number 15 of your first info product. And in this lesson, we're going to go over tips to recruit your JV partners. Now at this point, you should have everything in place. You should have your info product created. You should have your upsells in place. You should have your bonuses on the page. You should have set your product up on Clickbank or Jvzoo or whatever network you're setting it up on. You should have your JV page created, your sales copy done, the download page material done. Everything should be done at this point, and now it's time to start driving traffic. And the best way to get traffic is to recruit affiliate partners. So these are people that have an email list, people that are targeted to your audience. So these are people that have an email list of 5,000, 10,000 people, for example, and they have a list of followers of people that are interested in a certain topic related to your market, like make money online. They might be interested in whatever, topic, fitness, health, weight loss, the parenting niche market. They might have a list of moms on their list, and so you could send them your offer, your parenting product. They might have a list of puppy owners, so you could send them your puppy training offer. So the key here is that you are recruiting affiliate partners. Affiliates are the quickest way to get traffic, and it's the fastest way to do it without spending a lot of money out of pocket up front. So to do that, you can go out to product launch announcement websites. And if you're in the internet marketing niche, one of the most popular product launch announcement sites out there is muncheye.com. And another really good one that I love for niches outside of internet marketing is jvnotifypro.com, which also caters to internet marketing. But if you have a product launch coming up in any niche market, generally you can get it listed here. He lists most of them on his launch calendar. So it's the best and longest running JV site. All the members on this website are affiliate partners actively looking for products. You could also do a Google search for, product launch calendar, info product launch calendar, digital product launch calendar, and you could find some additional ideas. One of the things I like to do when I'm out there recruiting affiliates is I like to go out there and leverage the product launch announcement sites for potential affiliates that I can reach out to. So you can use the main product launch announcement sites to make a list of joint venture partners in your space, and then you can reach out to those people that are having product launches coming up, see who's doing a launch. You can connect with them via email, Facebook direct message, which is probably the best way to reach out to your affiliates, and then with Skype as well. If you are looking at getting a new affiliate that maybe you've never worked with before, but it's somebody that you really want to promote, then you could offer them a spot on your download page. You could actually offer them a way to put a banner ad on your download page. So it's kind of a win-win for them. So they're able to put an offer on your download page, and in exchange for that, they might do a mailing for you and make commissions. But on the top of that, they're getting access to your customers because they're building a list off that. You could also introduce potential affiliates to your connections that you find on these launch boards or that you want to connect with, and help them, introduce them to connections in your industry. It may help each other. Oftentimes that happened with me where people connected me with somebody else, and it got me excited, and I was able to continue that relationship with that person. It deepened my relationship to that affiliate because they introduced me to one of their marketing friends. You can also get their attention with a small gift. So if there are affiliates that you want to attract, you could send them a $5, $10 Starbucks gift card in the mail. It's amazing what a small little gesture like that can do. There's an affiliate that sends me brownies every single Christmas. And I'll tell you, whenever he has a product to promote, I'm right there. It draws my attention into him. It endears me to him, even though it's just brownies, but it works. It makes me like him and trust him and appreciate him because he took the time to take notice of me. So sending a small gift is a really cool way to get affiliates' attention. You could join the launch update email list as well, just to get an idea of what's going on, what launches are happening in your space. You can set up a Facebook group for your affiliates as well. So you could find those affiliates. You could do a search on Facebook as well for like weight loss affiliates. You could do a search for animal affiliates or pet training affiliates just to find affiliate partners in your niche market that might have, there might be a Facebook group where they're hanging out, but you could also create your own Facebook group and include links to your JV page in there, include updates on your product launches, provide resources and advice for your affiliates. So things like articles or videos, those do really well to kind of help enhance people become a better affiliate marketer. You could leverage Facebook messaging. I'm a big fan of Facebook messaging. And so as you find the affiliates that are showing up, on the launch boards, you find those affiliates you want to connect with because they're showing up in the Clickbank marketplace. You can reach out to those. And most of the top influencers and affiliates in your niche markets, and especially in the one I'm in, are on Facebook. You can friend request them, interact with them, and send a message. The most important thing when talking to any affiliates is this is a very good principle to live by too, is see how you can help them first. So see what kind of value you can offer them first before you ask for something in return. And that's really key. It's the law of reciprocity. They're going to want to reciprocate if you do something for them first. Join the Facebook groups related to joint ventures. Find the JV launch groups. Again, I talked about looking for the ones related to your market as well. So you could even do weight loss JV, fitness JV, those types of things to find those markets. For internet marketing or groups related to your niche with influencers, search for those as well. The influencers are the people that are leading those groups also. So if you are in that weight loss space and you find somebody that's got a big Facebook group that's very active, that person that leads that group or that started that Facebook group or Facebook page could be somebody that could be an affiliate for you. You can post about your launch in these groups if they allow it, just to draw additional exposure to your offer. Another big thing to do is subscribe to emails of the big players in your niche market and see what types of offers they are promoting. So look for those top vendors on Clickbank. Look for the top vendors that you know as your competition. See what types of offers they are promoting. Get to know their business, understand their business, use this insight to approach them intelligently, and see how you can work out a deal with them to get them to promote for you. And if you approach them intelligently, it's going to increase your chances. Whereas if you just went after them without knowing what types of offers they promote and your offer wasn't a fit, but now you can make your product a fit and position it better to them. Another really good tip to get on the radar of those big affiliates you want to impress and have promote for you is to become a customer of theirs. Buy their training program. That makes such a big difference. If you send an email and says, "Hey, I just went through your program. I really like it," then it's going to kind of build that relationship with them. Offering a video testimonial for their products also does really well. And I'm telling you, anybody watching this, hardly anybody does this, but if you went through somebody's training course, created a video testimonial about how great it was, that's going to draw their attention to you. You're now going to have their full attention, and there's a good chance they're curious about what you may have to promote as well because you did something amazing. Just simply recording a simple video on an iPhone, but make sure you've bought the product so you can make sure that you can say you're a customer of theirs and so you can make sure that it's a quality product before you leave a review. Utilizing Skype is another really good thing. A lot of the affiliates, if they're not on Facebook Messenger, they are hanging out on Skype. It's a really good way to connect with the ones that you see showing up on leaderboards, connect with the ones that you see in Clickbank, and really anyone that may be promoting within your niche that you can't find, maybe you can find them on Skype. Using, like Google Plus, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you can friend request or follow those affiliates that you've targeted, sending a private message as well. So utilize these additional sources, these additional social media channels, liking them, retweeting them, post to these social media sites about your launch. Do a press release about your product launch. That's a really important way to draw attention. You can write a press release about, who is it about? It's about you and your product launch. What is it? And you can talk about, what affiliates can make, who, what, when does the launch take place, where does it take place? Clickbank, Jvzoo, how can they become an affiliate? And then, how is also very important and why should they promote and be involved in it? So who, what, when, where, and why, and sometimes how. That is a really good start for a press release. And you can just write up a press release about your product launch and get it submitted and get it out there. And you can do a Google search for submit press release free to find a list of press release websites that you can submit to. You can also write an article or a free report on affiliate marketing strategies and then post that on the warriorforum.com or jvnotifypro.com. They have a section where you can actually submit content. And so if you want to stand out as an affiliate, write some specific strategies that'll help people become a more effective affiliate. You could also post a video on YouTube about your upcoming launch to draw further affiliates in. Include your JV page link inside the video and in the description box just so they can go check it out. Give informative content and running an affiliate campaign, for example, just to help, give them some additional value so that your affiliates are learning from you. And if you're teaching your affiliates, they're going to be excited to get free training from you. But at the same time, as you teach them to be a better affiliate, you're teaching them to be a better affiliate for you, which is powerful. I also like to go out to ezinearticles.com. I look at the popular YouTube videos, popular industry websites, and Clickbank for finding those affiliates. And so if you're in the parenting market, go out to ezinearticles.com, click on the author resource box for that category. So I would navigate to the painting category or parenting category, and then I would click on the different articles that intrigued me, and then click on the bio box and go to their website and contact those people because they could be a potential affiliate. Look for people within your niche that may not normally be contacted. So a lot of times the product owners, they are contacted, but the authors on eZine articles may not be that much. The YouTube channel host may not be contacted that much. And so go out there and find those people, like people with a strong YouTube presence or forum presence. Those are great ways to reach additional people out there. And if you're on eZine articles, look at that resource box to get in touch with them. There's also some paid recruitment options. Some of the leading joint venture leaderboards and calendars, they will do a solo ad to their JV list, and so you could pay for that. JV Notify Pro does have a paid option where you can pay for a solo ad blast. You could do banner ads on top of the launch site. So for example, Clickbank actually lets you pay for advertising, which you can use to recruit affiliates. You could also do live industry events and trade shows. And then clickbank.com advertising, I mentioned that as well. It's a really good way to reach people. Live events and trade shows, I cannot underestimate that one enough. I felt bad I just glazed over that, but I want to go back to that point. Live industry events, going out and meeting people, getting to know people in your market is absolutely essential to your long-term success online. So going out there and doing that is going to be phenomenal for you. So live industry events is big. Targeted Facebook campaigns, if you still can in your account, look for, some example keywords is look for people that like Clickbank, look for people that like affiliate marketing. Those are your potential audience that you could show a Facebook ad to and send them to your JV page. Whenever you're doing any kind of paid ads or Facebook ads especially, test your ads, make sure your photos are all different so that way you can have 4 different ads, and you might find one photo pulls 4 to 5 times different than another one. And so, really go out and just make it an effort to find those affiliates. It's building those relationships, going to the live events, communicating with people, serving them first, and then going out and just finding those affiliates. And it truly is a numbers game when it comes to recruiting affiliates. You might contact 100 people and maybe 4 or 5 people will say yes. So for every 20 people you're contacting, maybe one's going to say yes. So don't get discouraged. But if you get those 1 or 2 really good affiliates, you can have a really nice little info product launch that begins for you and then starts a steamroll effect of new affiliates joining you from the Clickbank marketplace or the Jvzoo marketplace because they saw how well your offer was doing. So go out there, let's start recruiting our JV partners.